making cinnamon buns
from scratch. To get started with these cinnamon rolls, we're going to need 2 3/4 of all-purpose flour, 1/4 a cup of sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, 2 1/4 teaspoon of yeast, of any instant rising yeast, half a cup of milk, 1/4 a cup of water, 3 tablespoons of unsalted butter, and 1 large egg. That's going to be the main components of our cinnamon roll.
We got out all the ingredients, including the yeast, the flour, the salt, the sugar, the milk, the butter, the egg, and the water. And now we're going to whisk together these 4 ingredients to make the dough.
Whisking time has now ceased.
It has done.
It says now to set this aside. So now we're going to mix the milk, the water, and the butter in a heat-proof bowl. Use the microwave or the stove and heat it until the butter is melted and the mixture is warm to the touch.
Okay, so now we're ready to take out the butter.
Oh yeah, that's all melted. We have to put that in here. Oh wait, kneading time has begun. Okay, so that was a massive failure.
Yes, it was.
Just use a mixer or a whisk if you have nothing else. Don't use your hand. It's a mistake, I promise you. Okay, so now what you're gonna need is a surface on which to put flour on. That's not how we work. And then we're gonna actually knead the dough.
Also, we're going to use flour on our hands too.
Yes.
Which is very
Make sure to
important.
do that, because if not, you're gonna.
No, wait, we needed to add the egg.
How did we forget the egg?
This time you do it.
Okay. Add the egg. Okay, so now we've actually got all the ingredients in it. Josh's hands are now being rinsed once more.
Yes.
And we are now actually ready to do the kneading. Okay, so our first batch was a failure. It was way too sticky, and we have no idea why. So we're just gonna try another batch, but this time we have a guest to help us. Okay, so this time it was not as sticky. We just used the mixer, like we probably should have done at the beginning. It's probably what you should do too. We still forgot the egg, but we did end up putting it in afterwards and it was perfectly fine. Now we're just letting it rest for 10 minutes. So while we're letting it rest for those 10 minutes, we're gonna go ahead and get all the stuff we need for the filling. So we need the ground cinnamon, the sugar, and some slightly melted butter. Okay, so after the 10 minutes are up, it says roll the dough out in a 14 by 8 inch rectangle and spread the softened butter on top. Mix together the cinnamon and sugar. Sprinkle it all over the dough and then roll up the dough tightly. Cut that into 12 to 10 even rolls and arrange in a lightly greased 9-inch round cake pan or pie dish. Okay, so we have our cinnamon, we have our sugar, our ground cinnamon, and we have our butter.
And let's go ahead and get this and make our 14 by 8. So now it's saying roll the dough, okay, spread the butter on top, then mix the cinnamon and the sugar together. Just mix these two together. Butter, butter. So we're gonna roll this way and then, no, we should roll this way and then cut, right? That makes sense. Because we need to get how many out of it? 10 to 12. Okay. And now they're ready to be rolled. Now we cut it. That'll do. And then pie dish loosely covered with aluminum foil or plastic wrap and allows for. So we're gonna do. So this is 60 to 90. So I think we're gonna do the, you know, like after 30 minutes, this is to close it, and then another 30 minutes after that. Okay. Here it goes. So we're gonna do 60 minutes, whole hour. So as soon as that beef, come on and put it in there and open it slightly, right? For 30 minutes, and then we close at the last 30. The bread has risen. Google, stop. Hey Google, stop. What do you think? Now they have to be baked. Okay. After the rolls have doubled in size, preheat your oven to 375 and then bake for 25 to 28 minutes. So we'll start with 25 minutes. And then it says if you notice the tops are getting brown too quickly, loosely cover them with aluminum foil and continue baking. And then to make the icing, we need confectioner sugar and vanilla extract and some milk. They're ready. They've risen and now they're going into the oven for 20 to 25 minutes. It's been 25 minutes.
Our next step is to make the icing.
Right.
And so for the icing, we need 1 cup of confectioner's sugar, half a teaspoon of pure vanilla extract, and 2 to 3 tablespoons of strong coffee or milk.
Taste test time. See?
After having baked and eaten them all by ourselves, I can pretty confidently say that these are a 10 out of 10, would bake again. They're pretty easy to make, and they're also pretty delicious to eat. It's also super unhealthy, but that doesn't matter. Butter.
They were delicious. Mommy approved.